there and welcome to Online Check-In, the fast-track guide to all that's weird, wacky and worth your while in travel on the web. I'm Carmen Roberts. Are you sick of paying full price for hotels and wish you were in the know about specials and discount periods? Well, Pt2 claims to know exactly when a hotel is offering an attractive deal, allowing you to get more quality for your budget. The site says it uses booking engine data and cloud computing to monitor market trends. But be warned, the prices only last for 25 minutes, so that bargain you saw a few minutes ago could be gone in less than half an hour. If a hotel is too impersonal or pricey, then try renting a room in a local home, or push the boat out and rent the entire apartment. There's a growing number of websites to help you. The tagline for 9flats.com is "Stop being a tourist and feel at home in the world." I like the look of this country lodge in Cape Town for less than $40 a night, or this beachfront bargain in Sydney that sleeps 4 for just over $200. There's also a luxury apartment in Athens for less than $150 a night. You can rent your apartment here too, but overall I find this site very European focused. Wimdu is another similar site offering rooms in over 2,000 cities in more than 100 countries in 11 languages. But if you're worried about safety, both websites have user reviews, photos and ratings. And of course, try to make contact with owners or guests before the stay. And if you found a lush pad for your getaway, you'd no doubt let your friends know about it on Facebook. So now one social media savvy hotelier is making it oh so easy to check in. Guests at Ushuaia Ibiza Beach Hotel are given a wristband synchronized to their Facebook profile. You can swipe your wrist across sensors throughout the hotel, checking in, taking photos or updating your status. With posts like that, you'll probably lose some green-eyed friends. Did you check in during the Ibiza closing parties? What did you think about this hotel sharing initiative? If you've seen anything interesting on your travels, drop me a line. The email address is fasttrack@bbc.com. Adam from Australia recently wrote in to tell us about Bean Hunter. It's a site for all you caffeine addicts out there to try and find coffee worth travelling for. Just type in the city you're travelling to source a cafe that's been reviewed and rated by so-called coffee connoisseurs around the world. But the best thing, if you ask me, is that it's also a smartphone app. Almost everything is on the handset these days, just like this great little travel organiser, Tripit.com. This useful website compiles all your flights, hotels, restaurant reservations and meetings for an upcoming trip, all in the one place. Simply forward your confirmation emails to Tripit and it automatically updates your profile. Though if you're anything like me, you'll have a lot of different email accounts, so it could get tricky. But you can share your plans with friends and family and colleagues, and the site also throws in weather forecasts and maps. Tweet of the Week time now, and Black Tomato tweeted about this great little video series from Education First to promote their language schools around the world. My fave is this film from Beijing. Watch carefully, you might just pick up a phrase or two. But before we say Saijian, let me leave you with a crazy PR stunt that's truly out of the box. Hotels.com claims its smartphone app allows you to make bookings on the fly. Literally. So here's skydiving stuntman TJ Holmes booking a hotel from 15,000 feet. Don't try this at home. See you next time.
Thanks, Carmen. Now, this is the time of year when hundreds of whale sharks migrate to the warm waters off Mexico, and hundreds of tourists want to swim with them. But there's concern about the increasing number of holidaymakers. Michelle Yanachan has been to Isla Bolbox in Mexico to see how the rules have changed and what that means for shark lovers.
Where the Gulf of Mexico meets the Caribbean Sea, a tropical island, palm trees, sandy streets, fishing boats, and a slow pace of life. Yet these are not the only draws of coming to this corner of Mexico.
Somewhere behind me, out in the Caribbean Sea, are the migrating whale sharks which come here every year.
and I'm going to be heading out a couple hours by boat to try to find them and swim with them. At the pier, guides and captains prepared their boats. More than a dozen vehicles headed out to sea, each one carrying tourists hoping to catch sight of the biggest fish in the sea. We scoured the waters around us, but it was not for several hours before we had our first sighting. A triangle of fin and the tip of a tail, often the only parts of the whale shark which break the surface. Tourists on board quickly put on their fins and masks and jumped overboard. Each had their turn, spending about 10 minutes in the water before trading places with the next group. Over the course of the tour, there can be several opportunities to swim with the whale shark. A half-day trip costs around $150 per person. The next day, I took to the water. Surprisingly, perhaps, it was not difficult to keep pace with these huge creatures. When they're feeding, the whale shark does not travel at great speed, and these waters were murky with plankton, their favourite food. That's the reason often cited as to why the whale shark comes to these shores in such numbers.
Not much bigger than yesterday's whale shark. Just from going from the fin to the tail. Here it's 5 meters. Extraordinary creature. You just trust that it's not going to flip its tail and send you flying.
The density of migrating whale sharks here has given rise to a flourishing business for whale shark tour operators. Mexican authorities have introduced some legislation, including capping boat licenses and mandating training for guides, as well as setting up a marine conservation park.
The most important rule is that we are not allowed to touch them. The reason we don't touch them is because we really want to make sure that these animals, they keep coming back year after year. Touching them, we're going to be scaring them away. We all should be taking care of these animals.
It's hoped that the value of whale shark tourism will help conserve the species. Formal tours did not begin here on Isla Holbox until less than 10 years ago, when fishermen were looking for alternate revenue sources. Already, the benefits for the local community have been significant.
Now it's very important for the island, Michelle, okay? When everybody who works here, we're waiting for this season because it's very important. A lot of people come to Holbox to enjoy Holbox, but a lot of people come to swim with the whale shark. And it's only 2 months that we have, and it's very, very important.
Tougher legislation, changes in attitude towards conservation, controlled tourism, and raising awareness about this area of Mexico, fortunate to have reported the greatest concentrations of whale sharks in the world. All this may help ensure a safer future for this gigantic, yet still vulnerable species.
Michelle Yanachan swimming with whale sharks off Mexico. And that's all we've got time for this week. Do try and join us again next time when, 7 months after the earthquake which triggered the tsunami, we visit Japan to see how the country is beginning to recover after people, buildings and ships were swept away. And you can find more on that story and plenty more on our website at bbc.com/fasttrack. And for even more travel tips and destinations, why not try bbc.com/travel, where this week you can read about living in New Orleans and Solvang, an authentic Danish village in California, USA. But until next time, from me and the rest of the Fast Track team, bye-bye.